Well, I look at the houses that are less than perfect, and I think you guys have an unfair advantage because the bar is set so low for you to be a success that it's really attainable. I kept trying to fill a cup with a hole in it, but there was no way to fill it up. I hit the first building, and I'm like, oh my goodness, and all I see is a brick wall in front of me. Boom, I hit the brick wall, the windshield breaks, the car crunches, the airbag goes off, and I died.
Welcome to PSA. My name is Felix if you're new around here, and if you're back, I want to thank you so much for the continued support. Last week we talked about how it took Moses 40 years before he accepted his purpose in life from God, and kind of how I could relate. And although it seemed like my first 40 years were so clear, I was going to ride my skateboard and travel all around the world, design and move into the entertainment industry, I found out that God had another plan for the back 40. Now looking back and saying those years were clear, it's quite ironic because there was so many foggy moments. And I touched on one of those moments. It was actually one of the most pivotal moments in my life last week. And I've received so many questions about it over the years. Now I could go on and on about the incident, but I thought this could be the perfect time to share this short video that was actually part of my graduation project in Bible college. We could say this is my testimony.
Matthew 5:14. You are the light of the world, a town on a hill that cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. My name is Felix Argüelles, the son of Armando and Dulce Argüelles. Armando Argüelles, el gordo de los Casanova. See, my father, he was an entertainer in Cuba, and he gave it all up for me to be free to live the American dream. And I know what you're saying. Man, Felix, your family is so selfless. You're so lucky. I come from a broken home. Well, I look at the houses that are less than perfect, and I think you guys have an unfair advantage because the bar is set so low for you to be a success that it's really attainable. You see, I looked at how hopelessly in love my mother was with my father, and I thought there was no way I could ever find a woman like that. And I looked at how selfless my father was, and I was like, there's no way I could be like that. So I just stuck to the American dream. And the American dream in my life took shape of a skateboard that I rode all over the world so hard so I would not have to go back to school that I was able to turn professional. Multiple network deals, and here I am. I'm in Hollywood. I made it, right? American dream, check. No, he doesn't have the girl. No, I had the girl. But the problem was I couldn't commit to her because I knew the next one might be better. The next deal might be better. The next opportunity might be better. You see, I kept trying to fill a cup with a hole in it, but there was no way to fill it up. And then one night, I was out in Hollywood for this networking event because I knew this was gonna be the one. This was gonna be the one when I met that right person, when I got that right opportunity, that next deal that was gonna take me to the next level, or maybe when I bagged the starlet, get my notoriety up, you know what I'm saying? Bring my name out there in lights. But no, it was just another night full of narcissists, too many drinks, another slice of pizza, and a drive back to downtown LA. That night was different though, it was raining. It was raining so hard I couldn't see outside my windshield. And the crazy thing is I was 2 turns away from my house, and all of a sudden I think I dozed off or something. I found myself hydroplaning. And I'm hydroplaning like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz. I'm just like spinning, I'm completely out of control, and I don't know what's going on. I bump up a sidewalk, I take out a telephone pole, I hit the first building, and I'm like, oh my goodness, and all I see is a brick wall in front of me. Boom, I hit the brick wall, the windshield breaks, the car crunches, the airbag goes off, and I died. Well, I didn't die, but I thought I died. And I crawled out the window because the car's gonna blow up. It always blows up in the movies. And as I'm standing there in the rain, and I'm thinking to myself, man, all these people you let down. Wow, Felix died at the bottom of the 7th Street Bridge. What are my parents gonna think? And then as it's raining on my head, I notice, oh, I didn't die. I'm just gonna go to jail. So I did what every good citizen would do. I stuck my hand inside the car, I grabbed the keys, and I started running. Started running up the hill. And as I'm running, I'm screaming, God, why? God, why? But I wasn't asking God why this happened to me. I knew why it happened to me. I was asking God, why did he spare me? You see, the same God had taken away so many of my friends to poor choices, to drugs, alcohol, violence. He even took 2 of my friends in a plane crash. In a plane crash? And you're gonna spare me? You're gonna spare me, the guy who hadn't been to church in 30 years? Well, you best believe church was going down that day at the bottom of the 7th Street Bridge. I wouldn't find out why I got spared that night, but I would start digging for purpose. I took a vow of celibacy. I started reading these self-help books. I was meditating. And about a month later, I was entertaining this friend from South Africa, and he invited his best friend's sister out to eat with us. And right before we all said goodbye, she said, hey, what are you doing on Wednesday? I said, I don't know, why? She's like, would you like to come to church with me? I was like, church on a Wednesday night. This is the craziest pickup line I've ever heard in my life. But I said yes. You see, because I was digging for purpose in all these self-help books, and one of them had suggested to get in a community. Church sounded like a community, so I said I'd check it out. And the crazy thing is, I was basically raised in a church. My father would preach out of the Spanish Bible, and my brother was a pastor in a Mormon congregation. But this time when I walked up to church, it was different. The people were dressed normal. It was at night. And then when I stepped inside, the lights were off. Not gonna lie, it freaked me out a little bit. So I text my brother, hey bro, are the lights off in your church? It takes a second, he's got a Galaxy. Oh, no, why? Oh, don't worry about it. So then the music comes on, and the band was incredible. So I have my whole body in the church, but I still have like 1 foot outside the church, and I'm trying to get them a record deal. I hit my boy in Atlantic. I was like, yo, do you sign Christian bands? And he's like, no, bro. I'm like, yo, you're crazy. I'm sure they could sing something else. Then the pastor comes out and he has an earpiece on. And I used to run home on Tuesday nights with a 6-pack of beer and a pizza to watch all the TED Talks load. I called it TED Talk Tuesdays. And he tells this beautiful love story. I'm a sucker for a love story. I have the French Kiss and the Notebook both on my laptop. Don't judge. And I didn't know what was going on that night, but I knew I liked it, and I kept coming back. And then I started to serve, and I came up with this crazy construct that the more I served, the more I healed. So I served, and I served, and I served, and I healed, and I healed, and I healed. And then they started this Bible study across the street. Pastor Ralph Neighbor, God bless that man. And I came across my first life verse. You're the light of the world, a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. You see, my whole life, I wanted all the light. I wanted all the shine, and I wanted to point it all towards me and anybody who endorsed me, but I had it all backwards. A year later, I would be baptized, and Jesus would turn that upside down. He let me know it was okay if I wasn't LADWP, the power plant. It was okay if I was just a lamp. It was okay if I was just a light bulb. It was okay if I was just a match worth of light in a dark place, because it's thanks to Jesus' grace I'm standing right here in this place, having the exact conversation I need to have with the exact person I need to have it with. When I look back now, I see Jesus' hands all over my life. And this sign, it now says Holy Woods. And I don't need to be the light, he's the light. I'm just a light.
Here in the City of Angels.
And that woman who invited me to church, her name is Tanya, and she's my wife.
Man, the coffee was strong that morning. I'm kidding. I just had to kind of rush through the story because it was only supposed to be 5 minutes long. Oops. That verse in Matthew really spoke to me then, and it still does today. You know, the Word of God is really something else. And something that I've learned is that the more you read it, the more it reads you. Now I know and I respect that a lot of you guys that follow along here are in different places in your spiritual journey. But the most important part is that we all stay open and curious to the fact that everyone can learn something new from anyone at any time. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. I want to hear your stories. I want to learn from them. So please stay in touch. And until next week, let's love more, and I'll see you at the next PSA. Whew. It's warm in here, huh? I guess that's what happens when you kind of go there. You know, I've never shared this video. It's just been sitting there private in YouTube for I don't know how long since my graduation. I hope you guys took something away from it, and just know that you too are the light of the world to somebody, someplace, waiting for you to show up and light light it up. Please share this message with somebody else. Check out some of these in our back catalog, and I can't wait to hear your guys' stories. See you soon.